My name is Professor Tiffick. That's scientific. Oh, you'll have to excuse me. I don't usually have this many students. Well, today we're in for an exciting day because we're going to study the glorious specimen of Epcot. A true visionary, Walt Disney pioneered his hope for the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. He passed the torch on to newer generations to create his dreams and look to the future. Let's get moving on the monorail. That's right, it moves along a single track. Walt Disney loved the monorail system, which he built first at Disneyland. The monorail here at Walt Disney World Resort is the 6th generation. The monorail has a maximum speed of 70 miles per hour, but it's kept at an average of 40 miles an hour. It's the best way to get to Epcot. Exhilarating! It's the enormous Spaceship Earth. Oh, I've never seen such a massive phenomenon. It takes 250,000 metal eye catchers to spell out the name Epcot. Now that's a lot of pixie dust. The panels on Spaceship Earth are a thermal polyethylene and aluminum composite and are self-cleaning, which is good because I don't do windows. In Spaceship Earth, you'll hear about the history of human communication. Now that's what I'm talking about. This is probably my laboratory calling. Professor Scientific speaking. This will just take a moment. Why don't you head inside? I'll meet you later. Yes? No, extra cheese. Right, yes.
For eons, our planet has drifted as a spaceship through the universe. Yet in that time, we've made tremendous progress in our ability to record and share knowledge. Hieroglyphics mark the rise of the written language. With papyrus scrolls, the written word begins to travel across the land. In classic Greece, the theater is born. The dawn of the Renaissance brings renewed interest in poetry, music, science, and art. With the invention of a new machine, the printing press. On this wave of inspiration, we sail into a bold new era of communication. Today, we've created a vast electronic network stretching from our home to the reaches of space.
Wow! I'll bet that's the biggest geodesic sphere you've ever seen. Inspiring! We're in the cutting-edge lane with a stop at innovation. From Ben Franklin and Thomas Edison to the Wright brothers and Henry Ford, famous inventors revolutionized our everyday life. You can include Walt Disney himself on that list, too. There's so much to innovate here on the road to tomorrow. Have you ever felt like you were in a video game? Now he's really having a ball. The field of food sciences is put under a microscope. Here, we can really get a bug's eye view of the world. Now, some of the inventions you see here were created right from the drawing board, while others are improvements on existing inventions. Maybe someday you'll invent something too. Our trip has just begun. Let's ship out for a voyage around the world to the countries of World Showcase. I've got my passport in here somewhere. Well, I've always wanted to visit Mexico. Its shores are so festive.
Hola, welcome to Mexico, my homeland. My name is Carla and I'm originally from Monterrey in Mexico. This is the San Angelin. The pyramid is styled after Mesoamerican architecture from nearly 1800 years ago. The native Mexican artisans are quite skilled in their craftsmanship. Enjoy shopping at the marketplace inside La Plaza de los Amigos. El Río del Tiempo, Mexico's River of Time. It is a celebration of my colorful Mexican heritage. Feel the rich spirit of our culture.
Just like the Vikings, I'm sailing straight to Norway. Woo! I almost feel like Leif Erikson heading home from a long voyage.
Greetings to our fair village. My name is Rebecca and this is my Norway. This state church was modeled after the Gould Church of Hallingdal. The whole church is built of wood and has not used one single nail in the whole construction. Our town square is modeled after that in 14th century Oslo. The Vikings are a big part of our history. Come with me on their journey.
Uh-oh. Oh, I think I boarded the wrong ship here on Maelstrom.
This is troll country. Trespassers.
Oh, watch out for that troll! Wow, exactly what species was that? Okay, if I just look at the stars and use my compass, I'll find my way out of here and back to the open sea. Come on, help me out! Look, there's China on the horizon. This must have been how Marco Polo must have felt on his first visit to this wondrous land.
你好, you've arrived at my homeland China, a distinct world of diversity and energy. My name is Jian, and I'll show you all around our China. This is Temple of Heaven, is a half-dimension copy of the original one, which is located in Beijing, China. The Temple of Heaven was built in 1420, almost 600 years ago in Ming Dynasty. The 360-degree circle vision movie, Reflections of China, captures the spirit of modern-day China in a celebration of our landscape and culture.
Electricity is the flow of tiny charged particles called electrons. You use electricity to run the lights and appliances in your home. Now that's a very bright idea. What do the Monorail, Spaceship Earth, and this flashlight have in common? They all require energy to work. Let's take a prehistoric look at the Earth's energy inside.
The universe we know is one of dynamic forces, sending a constant flow of energy through time. Let us now look at the origin of man's energy sources, starting with the beginning of fossil fuels. The remnants of these early creatures have become the primary source of energy used in the world today. Petroleum oil is the natural substance remaining from these once mighty creatures.
I've always been curious about prehistoric times, the historical ecological changes. We're really on the fast track now. It's test track. Let's get rolling. Buckle up. This is the safety test. Engineers really have to do their homework to pass these tests. All right, let's see now. Force equals mass times acceleration. But where does gravity enter the equation? Sir Isaac Newton himself would be amazed at the forces at work here. My computations say that at 65 miles per hour, Test Track is Disney's fastest attraction. It's also the longest. In a year, each of these cars will have driven the equivalent of 21 road trips from Orlando to Detroit and back. Woo! All right. Let's get rolling! Woo! That's the 50-degree bank in case you count. Okay. Let's go to another pavilion now. Something slow. Ahoy there! I see land on the horizon. It's the Land Pavilion. Well, here we are with Living with the Land. I wonder what's growing on.
With hard work, dedication, and skill, the prairie was transformed. Generations of family farmers learned to work with their land to grow the crops that would feed the nation. Today's farmers are still listening and learning from the land.
Wow, plants can grow in such diverse climates and habitats. Now that's food for thought.
Research continues to give us better plant and animal production, as well as new insight into growing new plants in new environments. This also includes aquaculture. Fish farming is one of our fastest growing food industries. In a small aqua cell, we can produce tons of seafood crops.
Look at all these plants. Wow, Johnny Appleseed would sure be proud. According to my calculations, over 30 tons of fruits and vegetables are harvested from the greenhouses right here in the land. Look for them on the menu in Epcot's restaurants. And you thought food just came from the store. Take off on this high-flying adventure. Soarin' gives you a bird's-eye view of the landscape's rich beauty. You'll feel like you're flying over the great California vistas in your simulated hang glider. Ooh, is that the Golden Gate Bridge? Oh! Did you know this wouldn't be possible without the Bernoulli principle? That's right, the air over the wing of your hang glider moves faster than the wind under it. This increased velocity creates lower pressure above the wing, resulting in lift. That means you'll rise up, and away! Ooh, careful, or your toes may touch a Golden State landmark. This free flight experience will give you the sensation of sweeping winds. Ooh, ooh, I think I can smell the trees and the flowers. Oh, this looks delightful. Oh, Germany's shores are so inviting on this journey.
Guten Tag, my name is Clarissa and I was born in Frankfurt. Let me show you around my home of Germany. The architecture of Rhineland, Bavaria and Northern Germany are all featured here. This is a sculpture of St. George and the dragon here in the Platz. The Glockenspiel plays a tune especially created for us here in Epcot. Enjoy a taste of Oktoberfest here in the Biergarten.
What gorgeous architecture. Oh, let me check my guidebook. Oh, yes, it's Italy. Oh, completely captivating.
I am Marco from Vigevano in Italy. Let me be your host in our traditional country. You'll find our culture in our architecture. Here is a replica of the 14th century Doge's Palace. Our model of the Campanile or Bell Tower of San Marco Square in Venice is 83 feet tall. These statues show Theodore and the dragon. On this other, you see the lion of San Marco. He protects the city of Venice. But some of the other figures in the piazza are quite lively. Be sure to visit l'originale Alfredo di Roma ristorante. The cuisine is magnifica.
Signorina, buon appetito, enjoy your meal.
I'm off to Africa to explore the country of Morocco.
Assalamu alaikum. Behold our country of Morocco, the jewel of the North Africa. I'm Nora and we will have a magical time here in my country.
This is a prayer tower based on a 12th century mosque. In the Medina or old city, you will find a busy marketplace. Enjoy the landscape of the Ville Nouvelle or New City. You may even find your own special magic here in Morocco. At Restaurant Marrakesh, have yourself a delicious meal and take in some local entertainment.
Well, we're off to the mystical land of Japan.
Nice to meet you. My name is Ayako from Tokyo. I am pleased to welcome you to my country of Japan. Follow me under our tree a good luck symbol which is the entry into our shrine of Japanese honor and heritage. Each level of this pagoda stands for one of the 5 essential universal elements: earth, water, fire, wind, and sky. We've got a special treat for you, an authentic Japanese meal in the teppanyaki dining room. Enjoy!
Have you ever seen a waterfall that flows uphill? Well, use your imagination. I do believe I saw some water go right in here. Now this journey makes a lot of sense. Our 5 senses, that's sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell, all get a workout here. It's sensational! Mind-boggling! Hop to it. There's so much to see. Oh, and here at the ImageWorks What If Labs. Say cheese! Did you know that an estimated 4% of all amateur photography is taken at the Walt Disney World Resort and the Disneyland Resort in California? I wonder which is my best side. Our mission is to discover the most out-of-this-world adventure right here at Mission Space. You'll man the flight as the commander, pilot, navigator, or engineer. That is, if you accept the mission. Commander Scientific reporting for duty. Get into launch position. In 3, 2, 1, liftoff! Out of this world! Ooh, can you feel that sensation? Oh, that's how it feels to travel 20,000 miles per hour. Good thing you don't have to worry about speeding tickets in deep space. What a spectacular space landing! Welcome to Mars! Mission accomplished! Wow, I wish Galileo could see us now. Romance abounds here in the City of Lights. That's right, we're traveling to France.
Bonjour, I'm Noira, and France is my beautiful homeland. Take a walk with me over the Pont des Arts Bridge. We'll take in the ambience of this era called La Belle Époque or the Beautiful Time. This is a reproduction of the Eiffel Tower. The original is 10 times its size. Join me in the Palais du Cinéma to celebrate the film Impression de France.
From the cold green north, they come to see the elegance of Chambord. Bastille Day. Nothing makes us prouder in all of France than to celebrate the birth of our République.
Passez un très bon séjour à Epcot et très bonne journée. Enjoy your stay in Epcot and have a nice day.
Oh, how breathtaking! Now for some history in the Grand United Kingdom.
Greetings, I'm Claire from Yorkshire in England, and I'm very proud to welcome you to the United Kingdom. Have an amazing time in our gardens. Enjoy the historical designs of the buildings along our streets, from the Tudor to the Georgian eras, as well as our Elizabethan and English Victorian styles. And why not stop by the Rose and Crown pub for a traditional British pint, where we live by the motto, Otium cum dignitate, which means leisure with dignity.
Just like Henry Hudson, we're off to explore the wild land of Canada.
Come with me to explore Canada. I am Kimberly and I will show you the wonders of my country. The 19th century French chateau-styled Hôtel du Canada was modeled after the Chateau Laurier in the capital city of Ottawa. Enjoy the fragrance of the fir trees from the Rocky Mountains. The Victoria Garden welcomes us to the heartland of Canada. Canadians sure like to have a good time. Live the outdoors in the wilderness of O Canada. This film celebrates the diversity of our fine land.
Journey with us now through the color and the contrast of our magnificent land, where the past and the future are an inseparable part of the present. Only a stone's throw away from any city in Canada, there's the great outdoors. You can be part of nature out there and see life in the wild all around you. All this and more is our land.
I feel like Amerigo Vespucci, sailing all around the world. It's great to be back to familiar land, the good old US of A.
Welcome to the shores of the United States of America. My name is Davey, and I was born in the city of Chicago. Come with me and explore my country. Much like our country, our American flag has evolved over the years. We Americans find inspiration in the words of our great countrymen and women.
Well, Mr. Twain, what do you think of our America now?
Ben, I think the Founding Fathers never dreamed of an America like this.
Of course not. We weren't dreamers. We were visionaries.
Easy now, Dr. Franklin. This nation is still just a youngster, don't you know?
That's true. But look what we've accomplished in the American adventure.
Well, I sure have a lot of postcards to send home. How about you? World Showcase really broadened my horizons. Now's your chance to leave your mark here at Epcot. At Leave a Legacy, your image can appear on these sculptures. Think you can find mine here? Here it is! Not a bad shot. All around the lagoon, 19 burning torches light the way for the spectacular global nighttime show of fireworks, lasers, and pyrotechnics. It's IllumiNations, Reflections of Earth. We've had such an unforgettably entertaining adventure here at Epcot that it's inspired me to come up with the perfect formula for fun. Here it is. Are you ready? 1 part intervention, 1 part technology, with a dash of international flair and a sprinkle of pixie dust. Ooh. Thanks for helping me explore Epcot today. Let's come back soon to discover even more fun.
Epcot will take its cue from the new ideas and new technologies that are now emerging from the creative centers of American industry. It will be a community of tomorrow that will never be completed, but will always be introducing and testing and demonstrating new materials and new systems. And Epcot will always be a showcase to the world for the ingenuity and imagination of American free enterprise. I don't believe there's a challenge anywhere in the world that's more important to people everywhere than finding solutions to the problems of our cities. But where do we begin? How do we start answering this great challenge? Well, we're convinced we must start with the public need. And the need is not just for curing the old ills of old cities. We think the need is for starting from scratch on virgin land and building a special kind of new community. So that's what Epcot is, an experimental prototype community that will always be in a state of becoming. It will never cease to be a living blueprint of the future, where people actually live a life they can't find anywhere else in the world. Everything in Epcot will be dedicated to the happiness of the people who will live, work, and play here, and those who come here from all around the world to visit our living showcase. We don't presume to know all the answers. In fact, we're counting on the cooperation of American industry to provide their very best thinking during the planning and the creation of our experimental prototype community of tomorrow. And most important of all, when Epcot has become a reality and we find the need for technologies that don't even exist today, it's our hope that Epcot will stimulate American industry to develop new solutions that will meet the needs of people expressed right here in this experimental community. Well, that's our basic philosophy for Epcot. By now, I'm sure you're wondering how people will actually live and work and move around in our community of tomorrow. So in the next few minutes, we'll go into detail about some of our preliminary sketches and layouts.
No city of today will serve as a guide for the city of tomorrow. Epcot will be a planned environment demonstrating to the world what American communities can accomplish through proper control of planning and design. Epcot begins with an idea new among cities built since the birth of the automobile. We call it the radial plan. Picture a wheel. Like the spokes of the wheel, the city fans out along a series of radials from a bustling hub at the center of Epcot. A network of transportation systems radiate from the central hub, carrying people to and from the heart of the city. These transportation systems circulate to and through 4 primary spheres of activity surrounding the central core. First, the area of business and commerce. Next, the high-density apartment housing. Then the broad green belt and recreational lands. And finally, the low-density neighborhood, residential streets. Epcot's dynamic urban center will offer the excitement and variety of activities found only in metropolitan cities: cultural, social, business, and entertainment. Among its major features will be a cosmopolitan hotel and convention center towering 30 or more stories, shopping areas where stores and whole streets recreate the character and adventure of places around the world, theaters for dramatic and musical productions, restaurants and a variety of nightlife attractions, and a wide range of office buildings, some containing services required by Epcot's residents, but most of them designed especially to suit the local and regional needs of major corporations. But most importantly, this entire 50 acres of city streets and buildings will be completely enclosed. In this climate-controlled environment, shoppers and theater-goers and people just off for a stroll will enjoy ideal weather conditions, protected day and night from rain, heat, cold, and humidity. Here the pedestrian will be king, free to walk and browse without fear of motorized vehicles. Only electric-powered vehicles will travel above the streets of Epcot's central city. This towering hotel is the visual center of Epcot, the shining jewel at the center of the city. It will offer tourists and vacationers not only the most modern guest rooms and convention facilities, but also a 7-acre recreation deck located high above the pedestrian and shopping areas of the city. But hidden from view directly beneath the hotel is another kind of vital center, Epcot's transportation lobby. Although out of sight to hotel guests, this transportation terminal will play a key role in the city of tomorrow's ability to meet the needs of both visitor and resident. Two separate but interconnecting transit systems will move people into and out of Epcot in speed, safety, and comfort through the central terminal. Both are electrically powered. A high-speed monorail for rapid transit over longer distances, and a concept new to the American city for shorter travel distances, the Wedway People Mover. Automobiles and trucks will not be barred from Epcot. In fact, a vast armada of vehicles will continuously flow through the heart of the community, traveling below the pedestrian level on roadways reserved for specific types of vehicles. Let's look at another view of Epcot's transportation hub and see how traffic flows through the heart of the city on 3 separate levels. At the bottom of the stack is the truck route reserved for supply vehicles. Trucks will have easy access to all loading docks and service elevators for the delivery of commercial goods. The middle level is the automobile throughway, exclusively designed for cars. Adjacent to the roadway are parking areas for the hotel guests. For the motorists just driving through, no stoplight will ever slow the constant flow of traffic through the center of Epcot. But automobiles and freeways will not be Epcot's major way of entering and leaving the city. The transportation heartbeat of Epcot will be the 2 electric-powered systems, Monorail and Wedway, that radiate to and from the transportation lobby. And the key system in this network will be the Wedway People Mover. At WED Enterprises in California, a prototype track is already undergoing tests leading to its use in Disneyland in 1967. The cars seen here are approximately 5/8 scale, smaller than full-size passenger cars would be for city use. Epcot's People Mover is a silent, all-electric system that never stops running. These cars continue to move even while passengers are disembarking or stepping aboard. Power is supplied from a series of motors embedded in the track, completely independent from the cars. No single car can ever break down and cause a rush hour traffic jam in Epcot. Because the cars run continuously, there will be no waiting in stations for a people mover. The next car is always ready. Now let's go back to the transportation lobby and see how the Wedway will travel along one radial between the center of Epcot and a typical residential area. Leaving the transportation lobby, the Wedway trains travel above the downtown streets. Within minutes, the Wedway passes through the first station. Now, many people who work in the offices and stores of Epcot's city center board the Wedway here for their trip home. Some people leave the Wedway here too. They live in Epcot's high-density apartments surrounding the Metropolitan Center. Most passengers who ride the Wedway live beyond the apartments and stay aboard the People Mover as it crosses sheltering Greenbelt. Epcot's Greenbelt is more than just a broad expanse of beautiful lawns and walks and trees. Here, too, are the community's varied recreation facilities, its playgrounds for children, its churches, and its schools. Beyond the Greenbelt are Epcot's neighborhood areas of single-family homes. This is one radial neighborhood. Here and throughout the community, the residents returning from work or shopping will disembark from the Wedway at stations located conveniently just a few steps from where they live. The homes are located in a wide green area that provides light recreational activities for adults and play areas for children. Circulating through this area are footpaths reserved for pedestrians, electric carts, and bicycles. Children going to and from schools and playgrounds will use these paths, always completely safe and separated from the automobile. The resident leaving home in his automobile will drive down a street reserved for motor vehicles. He then enters a one-way road that circles the city center. This road carries the motorists onto the main thruway, connecting Epcot with other points in Disney World and with Florida's nearby network of major roadways. But most Epcot residents will drive their automobiles only on weekend pleasure trips. From all over the community, residents going to their jobs converge by Wedway on the center city. Many work downtown in offices, stores, and shops, but most employees go beyond the city core to their jobs. From the transportation lobby, monorail trains carry employees either to the theme park or to Epcot's 1,000-acre industrial park. At the central station in the industrial complex, passengers disembark from the monorail and again board Wedway cars that radiate to each facility. This industrial complex will provide employment for many people who live in Epcot. But it will also mean much more, not only for this community, but also for American industry. Here, the Disney staff will work with individual companies to create a showcase of industry at work. An attractive park-like setting, the 6 million people who visit Walt Disney World each year will look behind the scenes at experimental prototype plants, research and development laboratories, and computer centers for major corporations. So this is Epcot, the heart of Disney World. In other parts of the country, a community the size of this prototype could become part of an entire city complex composed of many such communities, planned and built a few miles apart. In Disney World, about 20,000 people will actually live in Epcot. Their homes will be built in ways that permit ease of change so that new products may continuously be demonstrated. Their schools will welcome new ideas so that everyone who grows up in Epcot will have skills and pace with today's world. Epcot will be a working community with employment for all. And everyone who lives here will have a responsibility to help keep this community an exciting, living blueprint of the future. Now here again is Walt Disney.
That's the starting point for our experimental prototype community of tomorrow. And now, where do we go from these preliminary plans and sketches? I believe we can build a community here that more people will talk about and come to look at than any other area in the world. I'm sure this experimental prototype community of tomorrow can influence the future of city living for generations to come. It's an exciting challenge, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for everyone who participates. Speaking for myself and the entire Disney organization, we're ready to go right now.
You know you're on television. You don't know about television, do you? I want you to look pretty. That's it. Get your head up and hold it there now. Show them how you behave. That's good. That's it. How would you like to have one of these little dinosaurs for a pet? Actually, they're tame as a kitten, quite friendly. And they won't bite the hand that feeds them because they're strictly vegetarian. You know, scientists call these little creatures Brontosaurus. But we have named them Huey. Thank you, Huey. And Dewey. Now, Dewey, don't get bashful. Come on up. Get it up there. That's that. Thank you. And Louie. Hey, Louie. Hey, boy. Huh? Actually, baby dinosaurs would make great house pets. Of course, you'd have to have a very large house because a creature like this would grow to be 90 feet long and 30 feet tall and weigh up to 60,000 pounds. Now, I suppose you're wondering what we're doing with dinosaurs here at the studio. Well, these baby brontosauruses are just a few of the hundreds of three-dimensional animated figures developed for the World's Fair. Although fairs are supposed to feature the newest things, we went back over 100 million years for these models. In a few minutes, we're going to take you backstage and show you how we created 4 special exhibits for the New York World's Fair, the greatest show on earth. This is what we call our Imagineering department. It's where we dream up our new projects for Disneyland or World's Fair. You might be wondering how an animation studio like ours got into the World's Fair business. And frankly, I've often wondered about that myself. But we've been preparing for this international exposition for many years without realizing it. Little did we know when we dreamed up Mickey and Donald here that someday they would be the ancestors of the mammoth animated characters we've created for this fair, such as this Tyrannosaurus Rex here, the carnivorous lizard of prehistoric time.
Epcot will take its cue from the new ideas and new technologies that are now emerging from the creative centers of American industry. It will be a community of tomorrow that will never be completed, but will always be introducing and testing and demonstrating new materials and new systems. And Epcot will always be a showcase to the world for the ingenuity and imagination of American free enterprise. I don't believe there's a challenge anywhere in the world that's more important to people everywhere than finding solutions to the problems of our cities. But where do we begin? How do we start answering this great challenge? Well, we're convinced we must start with the public need. And the need is not just for curing the old ills of old cities. We think the need is for starting from scratch on virgin land and building a special kind of new community. So that's what Epcot is, an experimental prototype community that will always be in a state of becoming. It will never cease to be a living blueprint of the future, where people actually live a life they can't find anywhere else in the world. Everything in Epcot will be dedicated to the happiness of the people who will live, work, and play here, and those who come here from all around the world to visit our living showcase. We don't presume to know all the answers. In fact, we're counting on the cooperation of American industry to provide their very best thinking during the planning and the creation of our experimental prototype community of tomorrow. And most important of all, when Epcot has become a reality and we find the need for technologies that don't even exist today, it's our hope that Epcot will stimulate American industry to develop new solutions that will meet the needs of people expressed right here in this experimental community. Well, that's our basic philosophy for Epcot. By now, I'm sure you're wondering how people will actually live and work and move around in our community of tomorrow. So in the next few minutes, we'll go into detail about some of our preliminary sketches and layouts.
The Horizons Pavilion draws on the wisdom and countless scientists and visionaries.
Easy living has always been just around the corner. Well, some ideas were a little hair-raising right from the start. But let's take a look at the future now.
I'm in a lot of rain, so watch for it. I just wanted to let you know.
One look says it all. Okay, class, settle down. Before we go, what else do we need to do, Scott?
Hey, Mom, what if I float away?
Your father will get you after he gets your shoe.
Look, Mom, I'm flying. Why don't you try it?
Now here's your chance to take an exciting ride through the future of your choice.
Be sure to catch The Making of Me, Disney's own movie on the creation of life. Try the Perplexion pipes where your sense of touch can fool you. Audio Antics play tricks on your ears. Or try your hand at reading Braille. Some things are just touchy subjects. How good are you at feeling your way around? Meet Frank and Fran, two of the wackiest health experts around.
We are now going to answer all the health questions you may have.
Why does your hair turn gray?
People get gray hair because they have children.
For a real thrill, take a ride in Body Wars.
Because of a highly sophisticated and ingenious process, not only will your ship be miniaturized, it will be beamed below the skin of a volunteer so that you will be able to view the inner workings of the human body. Stand by! We're being attacked by the white blood cells!
If laughter is what the doctor ordered, catch Cranium Command.
It's my job to turn you mealy-mouthed meatheads into a crack squadron of Cranium Commandos. Your job, if you can cut it, will be to run the most sophisticated information system ever devised, the human brain.
Whoa, what's going on? Where am I?
Whoa, quick, let's find some clothes. There's gotta be something in here. Oh, good pants. Shirt's okay, it's only been worn a couple days. Shoes. All right, we're out of here. Use your head, don't lose your head. It's easy. You'll be flying in no time as a member of the Cranium Command.
The World of Motion is enclosed in stainless steel and tells the story of transportation, past, present, and future.
One revolutionary turn of events was the invention of the wheel. Now things really get rolling. Another major accomplishment was full of hot air. Soaring through the sky is no longer just for the birds.
Keep your hands up.
Soon another form of hot air arrives in the shape of a steam-powered iron horse.
All right, drop it in the hat. Drop it in the hat, mister. Come on, come on.
But the call of the open road soon brings us the horseless carriage.
What's going on here anyway? Get a set of wheels.
Get out of the way!
We don't have any time for horseplay.
Now it's really fun to be free as we go full speed into the 20th century. We have come a long way, Yet we are embarked on a new adventure, the road to the future.
Also inside the world of motion is the Trans Center, where the Dreamers Workshop displays sleek prototype cars of the future.
Hey guys,